Thank you very much again. People are very excited to hear what you have to say. All right, here we go. 1 second. Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an incredible guest with us here today, sir. None other than Mr. Wallace Gator Bradley, who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration. First of all, how are you doing, sir?
I'm blessed, man. Anytime God wake me up and I can see you again. Last time I saw you, we was in Atlanta.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm blessed, man.
Wonderful. Yes, sir. And we I'm blessed and highly favored as well. I want to thank everybody who's tuning in today to hear some speaking of when we first met, we met at the rally for Mr. Larry Hoover from his sons and his family and the supporters. Why is that such an important why is it important that we support Larry Hoover?
One of the things is this, personally speaking, what happened when I met you, along with brother yourself,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
in Israel, the Hebrew Israelite brother, the prince. Uh, his father was very instrumental in trying to free Larry Hoover in the 90s when we were doing the gang summits around the country. And
Yes, sir.
I was blessed to have lived in Israel, in Dimona, Israel. And my wife and I, we renewed our wedding vows in Israel.
Mm.
Uh, what the city of Atlanta was doing with the congressman, not the congressman, but the alderman, his name skips me at this moment, but he had put together a proclamation honoring Larry Hoover. Okay, and he did it for it to be on his birthday, which was November 30th. And what was so wonderful, brothers and sisters came from around the country. There was no gang thing. You had elected officials, you had those that wanted to run for office. As a matter of fact, the brother that ended up winning the election to become the mayor, if I'm not mistaken, in Atlanta, he was there.
Mm.
You know what I
Mm.
mean? I saw a lot of his representatives there. You know what I mean? So I'm want to say kudos to all the people in Atlanta that voted for that brother, that campaigned for that brother, especially you. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So y'all understanding the power of we the people voting. So as far as Larry Hoover, he went to the institution when he was about, I think maybe 22 or 23. I got convicted around the same time in the state institution. Um, he was the leader of the Gangster Disciples. Uh, we both went into the institution like a lot of African American men and some women. Okay, we go in functioning illiterate. Okay, uh, we become self-taught. In order for us to do the time instead of the time doing us. He made the decision that he got tired of seeing his friends' children and grandchildren coming into the institutions, and he made a decision. I believe it was God that blessed him with a vision to do what he could to help turn the tide on senseless shootings and killings and stopping young adults from following our lead and coming to the institution. So he went from gangster disciple to growth and development. Okay, that's what's known as the blueprint, going from a negative to a positive. Uh, I stand 10 toes down with him because he saw my potential before I even knew my potential. Um, he gave me two assignments if I was willing to do the work. Okay, and I say that because many I call, few are chosen, but there's a rarity when we, with the capital W-E, are the ones that are willing to do the work. And what I mean by that, uh, by the grace of God and God's mercy, Larry gave me, it wasn't a title, he gave me 2 assignments. One of them was to be the voice for United in Peace, which he, in my opinion, had helped broker a deal with other street organizations that were in Chicago. The 5 point and the 6 point. 6 points were the folks, and the 5 point were the people. What I mean by that, 6 point represents BDs, GDs, black gangsters. I think it was souls. The 5 point represented the Stones, the El Rukins, the Cobras, the Vice Lords, and they made it where I have became the enforcer of the code that they all had agreed to help end the senseless violence. And the code was senseless shootings. It was a zero tolerance for senseless shootings and killings and violence, zero tolerance for the abuse and the rape of women and children, and zero tolerance for the robbing and the disrespect and the abuse of elders, where no one was to harbor individuals that engaged in that activity. And what that meant, it meant pretty much, in my opinion, my belief, and I stand on it to this day, that no one could harbor anyone that violated that code. And it was where the elected and appointed officials, the spiritual leadership, business leaders, and community leaders felt that that was something that brothers in the street organizations had to do in order to become redeemable, to accept their full responsibilities, to show that they changed their life around, because we went in as ignorants, as we would call them on the street, ignoramus or fools, because we weren't aware of self. Once you become aware of self, you understand that you have to be accountable, because there's consequences for your actions. And so what Larry would always say, if we know better, we do better. Okay. And the organizations were United in Peace and 21st Century Vote. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
21st Century Vote, because Larry felt, and others felt, that you had to change one's mindset from being criminally induced to becoming civically responsible, like what you brothers and sisters displayed in Georgia. Okay? Understand that there's street organizations in Georgia too. But to show their responsibilities, they had to become civically minded, and that's why y'all ended up with 2 United States senators. That's why brothers and sisters had no problem following the leadership like Stacey Adams. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes,
she didn't complain. She went to work. and helped rescue almost 1 million people. And here, truth and the saving of a democracy is going to come back again from within the South. We got the right to vote because of what y'all did in the South.
Mm.
You follow what I'm saying? So it
Yes,
ain't
sir.
happenstance what's happening. I feel God is in the equation because Georgia was the mustard seed, or the South was the mustard seed.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I
Yes,
mean?
sir. Yes,
Larry
sir.
from the South, Jeff Fort from the South, David Boscadell from the South. Okay, so back to why it's important about Larry. Over 3,000 people had got a new sentence because of the law that had changed. 3,000.
Mm.
In Larry Hoover's piece, it was 9 people that was on the trial with him. One of them died within the institution. 5 of them were released because of the new law. So in fairness, Larry should have the fair chance to get the same law,
Yes, sir.
criminal justice reform. But they say he's too powerful, he's too powerful, he's too powerful, he's too powerful. Because he's telling individuals, hey man, I need to stop selling dope. That's a trick. You're gonna end up in here like me. I, speaking to myself, as if he was speaking the same words, so I'm paraphrasing.
Yes,
You
sir.
have to be a damn fool. When the law says if you get caught with 6 grams of crack cocaine, you get 6 to 30 years. If you get caught with 600 grams of powder cocaine, you can get probation.
Mm. Mm.
Yet we let the media and everything convince us, hey man, it makes sense to sell 6 grams of crack cocaine. And therefore, majority of the people that's in there is for crack cocaine. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What they mad about Larry about is this. If he was able to stop 2 individuals out of 100 from killing one another, when the powers that be plan is to lock up 100 African American men,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
100. They're not satisfied with 98. They plan to lock up 100.
That's right.
So when you see Ye and Drake come to the common sense solution because of individuals like J Prince, GLC, because GLC and Larry Hoover Jr. were friends, and GLC and Kanye were friends. And that's how the thing came about, that they made a decision that they were no longer going to beef. They're showing that they can do more for us as a people working together, and showing that there's more profitability for us as a people and as a nation when we're not beefing with one another.
That's
And that
right.
was one of the tenements of United in Peace. Okay. That was one of the things that I glorify to this day, that all the various brothers that were leaders of the various organizations allowed me to be, for lack of a better phrase, a standard bearer or the voice of what United Peace stand for. That's not meaning that there weren't other voices out there. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But by me being blessed to have been able to get a pardon
Mm. Mm.
from Illinois governor, Jim Thompson, Larry told me, Gator, you got to be crazy to want to stay in the game or the hustle when you've been blessed to get a pardon, not because you didn't do the crime, but because of the work that you came back and put within the community. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We
Yes, sir.
in the business with technology being what it is now of show and tell. That's why that move, you know, they was talking about getting it together while we were in Atlanta
Yes, sir.
about the concert.
That's right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we knew from Atlanta of the importance of them brothers coming together a week or so before the concert. When I went to the concert, and I thank God for making it possible for me to be there, I visualized behind from the point of Kanye West opening up the concert spiritually with his Sunday choir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You follow what I'm saying? The
Yes, sir.
same man that let everybody know that Jesus walked with him, and I
That's
feel
right.
he walked with me too. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
For
sir.
78,000 people to be in the Coliseum, for Kanye to have been the one that paid for the concert, make sure it was not going to be wrong, because, hey, he wasn't dependent on making profit from the concert. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
was
sir.
the message. He was the only one that can talk to the guy from Amazon because they in the billionaire sphere. So if I was a fly on the ceiling, the conversation I would have probably overheard would have been the brother or the young, I'm saying brother because it had nothing to do with the race. I'm talking about a like-minded man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They'd probably say, Yay, how can I help you get this message out of fairness and redemption, criminal justice reform, public safety, in the name of humanity, to free this human being by the name of Larry Hoover.
Mm.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it went because of that conversation that they may have had, and I'm only paraphrasing, is it had to become a movement, a global movement. Just like the George Floyd,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
it transcended race, religion. So 240 countries was able to witness what transpired in the Coliseum.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When the lights went out and everybody did the flicker with their phone, with their cell phone, for everyone to know it may seem dark, but we in here. And 3 times they chanted, free Larry Hoover, free Larry Hoover, free Larry Hoover. I'm under feeling from what I've been hearing, because you know how rumors get to circulate. I couldn't count, but they say that there's a possibility that over a quarter of a billion people saw that. And if you missed it, you can go online and see it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now everyone is feeling the crime bill that Biden, when he was a senator, he was one of the sponsors of it. All the Congress folks and senators that signed the crime bill 1994.
Yes, sir.
Now I know that it was a bad bill and the wrong bill. I know it because I was blessed by God to be a part of a delegation that Reverend Jackson had put together to go meet with Bill Clinton to tell Bill Clinton that that law was bogus. You
Mm.
saw the demonstration that I sent to you with the C-SPAN and
Yes,
peace.
sir. Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean? And I'd like for you to share that through your social media sphere. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So they'll know that we're not just talking. So when I tell everybody the visualization that I saw, because I'm knowing all the players from Jay Prince to Kanye, Larry Jr. to GLC, is the resurrection where Jay-Z had and the Ghetto Boys had an album called The Resurrection, where
Mm.
Larry Hoover was telling them in the 90s that the day we're living in now was going to happen, where there's more mass shootings in the African American community being done by African Americans because the powers that be, like Ronald Safer and the others, took the disciplinarians away from the streets.
Mm.
The resurrection. Larry Hoover was on the Ghetto Boys album with Jay Prince and Rap a Lot. Fast forward to 2021. Jesus Lord,
Yes, sir.
Kanye West. Larry Hoover is one of the featured people on
That's right.
the song. The song was so real that they did it twice on the album.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here, Jesus Lord, you have Larry Hoover Jr. giving his testimony, profound. So your listening audience, just go online, Google Jesus Lord,
That's right.
part one and part two. Hear it for yourself. Here's a young man, Larry Hoover Jr. He was in the womb of his mother when his father got locked up. So his dad been locked up 47 years, almost 48 years.
Dang.
But if God would have it, his father was able to raise his kid from behind the wall with the help in the case of Larry Jr.
Mm. Mm.
His fiancee, who finally became his wife, Winnie Jenkins Hoover.
Mm. Mm.
So I'm not gonna get too deep into the song because I want everybody to hear it for themselves.
That's right.
Hear it
Yes,
out
sir.
my mouth, hear it out his mouth. And if you're blessed to go online with technology being what it is, get the Resurrection album, Rap a Lot, Animal Ghetto Boys, and hear what his daddy was saying then.
Mm. Mm.
Don't just
Mm.
take it from my mouth. Get it so you can hear it, and then you can share it and voice your opinion. You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's your turn. And this, anybody that says all hands on deck, we all got to come together to stop the senseless violence that's happening in our community. And then all of a sudden, here comes somebody. They'll find some blacks to say it. Hey, well, we don't think he ought to be able to say, put the
Mm.
gun down.
Mm. Mm. That's right.
That's an oxymoron. It don't make sense.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So ask me, and I'm willing to listen to the questions that you want to ask so I can get into it. Because you know, when me and you get to chopping it up, man, it may be a proud cast instead of a broadcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful testimony and your transparency. Both of my sisters say peace and send the greet. I'm saying our strength is our unity. Facts. People are showing you love all over Facebook, and I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Thanks for everyone.
Yeah, it looks like you lost your. You got to turn your volume up because I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I
What
said, what was it
what was you
like
asking?
being?
I missed what you say, sir.
Can you hear me, sir? I said, what was it like being at the concert?
Man, out of sight. Hey, listen, man. I felt so proud because I was really official triple OG hip hop head.
Mm, mm, mm,
you,
mm.
you, you, you know what I mean? I mean, man. And to see my friend Russell Simmons and Mike Tyson and others like Kahari Nash, man, to watch that, to remember Kanye and Jay Prince and knowing, watch their growth from 20 some years ago
Mm, mm.
to where they are now, to watch it and know it, how Kanye ended up with Jay-Z, knowing him and GLC, you know what I mean? When Kanye was just selling beats, to know how they went through the Cristal age, just wanted to be a millionaire so they can get cases of Cristal. Then they realized the people that were selling Cristal didn't care nothing about it until Jay-Z made a decision, well, we might as well sell the alcohol ourselves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To watch the Throne album went triple platinum. They
Mm.
played every song, but the one song that was the most powerful song on that album was Murder to Excellence,
That's
because it
right.
was talking about ending senseless shootings and killings. So now they learn from there. They are in control of their own destiny. That's why when you hear Kanye talking about, he counseling the culture, because the old culture would have made it where Jesus Lord is not an important song,
That's right. That's
like they
right.
did with Murder to Excellence
Yes, sir.
and focus on niggas in Paris.
That's right. That's right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So when you hear Kanye understanding his full growth and potential now is, hey, America is for sale. Let's buy land. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. He learning and he's showing. And to add the globalness of them two brothers not beefing, Drake is from Canada. Kanye from the United States.
Yes, sir.
Both of them spiritually in tune. So I tell everybody, say, Gator, everybody asks the same question that you just asked. What did you see? What did you feel? I tell them, I witnessed the manifestation from what Jay and them did to what Kanye and them are doing, from the resurrection to Jesus Lord, the resurrection of the 90s to Jesus Lord in 2021. And I got to agree when Drake says it's God's plan. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and I want to give a real shout out to my nephew, brother, yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
said, yeah, man. Hey, man, and his family, and the brothers from the Hebrew Israelite community.
Yes, sir.
They made my stay in Atlanta fruitful because they made sure that I continue to eat good food. You know what I mean? They wouldn't let me go off and get a candy bar. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You gonna
Yes, sir.
come right here Brother Gator, you're gonna get your real food there. And then for Brother Larry Hoover Jr. and his wife to join us at the restaurant, to eat, and Brother Noah and his wife for us all to end up there and eat, enjoy a good conversation, and for me to be like another fly on the ceiling, on God's ceiling, because there ain't no ending to it. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
To watch the generations where I felt comfortable to know that my great grandson will have a chance because he has an ear, he have an eye, and his mother knows the truth about her granddaddy, because she getting it from her mother, and she getting it from me, where there's no reason for him not to know that things are being put in place by God to help lead us out of the dilemma that we're in. Because at the end of the day, it ain't the white man. It's us that's gonna make the decision to keep the nonsense away from us. Because one of the most important things, from what I read, I know it's in the Quran, I know it's in the Bible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It says 2 or 3 in his name.
That's right. That's right. That's what it says.
Okay. So I'm just counting Kanye. I'm counting Drake.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm counting Jay Prince.
Yes, sir.
I'm counting Larry Hoover. I'm counting GLC.
That's right.
I'm counting Larry Hoover Jr. And that's half a dozen, let alone everybody that's like-minded like myself and you that's praying too.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? That's why they ain't gonna be able to stop this, because God is saying that it's time for this. Because at the end of the day, it's too many innocent children that's dying. That has nothing to do with this. There's a lot of innocent people that's dying too. But you got 1-year-olds being shot. You got babies as young as 4 months being shot. Not just in Chicago, or not just in Atlanta or Georgia or state of Illinois, all over the country, specifically in our community.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Being done not by bad police officers. Some of it is being done by bad police officers, but when you see what's happening to the bad police officers that commit those crimes, as opposed to what we used to see, one got to pay attention to the change, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So what you doing with your broadcasting and informing your listening and viewing audience is more profound than C-SPAN, than CNN,
Thank you very much,
than
sir.
NBC, than any of that. Because the name of the game is this. In our community, in our culture, it's always been about the beating drum.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, we in the age of TikTok, but the most important thing, we in the age of common sense approach, and that is telephone, telegram, you
Yes, sir.
call it
Yes, sir.
Instagram,
Yes, sir.
or telenegro. You get me, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know.
Okay, wonderful. And you had so many people showing you love. Thank you, Sister Linda. Thank you, Brother Daniel. Everybody sending you greetings and sending you peace and love.
Tell them thank you. Tell them I said thank you. And like I say, share the broadcast.
Yes, sir.
Let
Yes,
it
sir.
flow. Just like Kanye got up with, I guess it was his name, Bezo or whatever his name is.
Yes,
The
sir.
guy
Yes, sir.
Amazon. Share the message so it glow. Let it go with the flow.
Absolutely, sir. I have 2 more questions for you before we let you go,
Okay.
sir. Thank you very
Okay.
much. My next question for you is, you said you've been married for quite some time. How important has marriage been to, to you in life, like your life?
A lot,
Mm,
everything. I married my wife 3 times. Her name is
mm,
Terry Marsh Bradley. The second time I married her is while I was going through a spiritual transformation. I went over to Israel with a Monty suit on, known as, gang enforcer, and the weapon of choice, was that gat. You know what I mean?
yes, sir.
And
Yes,
I
sir.
went over there, and then I got into the cultural dress spiritually.
Mm, mm.
You know what I mean? With the crown
Yes, sir.
and come back, and I didn't have the Amani suit, and I didn't have love for a gat, which is a gun for those that don't know. Uh, I came back with a staff,
Mm, mm.
not a staff for people, but like a staff that like Moses was holding in his hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I was using that with the fortitude and the justification because I said it was a weapon that wasn't fashioned by man.
Mm, mm.
And I was able to, with the help of others, uh, chase serial killers out of communities, convince individuals that if your name rings, you need to turn yourself in to help bring peace to the community, and
Mm.
was able to move the united peace. So my wife say, "Hey, you left here with a suit on," and she had called it the dress, but it was the I'm dressing like they dress it in Ghana. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm wearing it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And but you saw the piece from the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you know what I mean? And so our girlfriend said, "Babe, when you go back, you need to go with him because the trips were being provided to me."
Mm, mm.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
It didn't come out of my pocket. You know what I mean? It was provided. So she went with me. And, watched her feeding the Jordan River. We made love to see a guy leave. I'm trying to walk it like David. I'm walking. You know what I mean? Hey, man. Hey, man. I'll give the 100 to you, man. So while I'm there, we had a brother by the name of Minister Fontaine. He was over the
Mm,
BDs, Black
mm,
Disciple. And we went to the Mount of Beatitude, and we saw this thing, blessed are the peacemaker.
mm,
And we was doing our thing with the gang summits there. So uh, uh, guys are from Italy, they say that they had the responsibility, they had put a chain up and you couldn't go past the chain. But before they got to us, me and the brother was over on the other side of the chain. You know what I
mm,
mean? How
mm,
we gonna
mm.
miss being in heaven, which we felt because we read these things exist in the Bible, and here we
Yes,
are
sir.
standing right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when they came, they saw that we was locking hands in peace. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
To absorb the blessing of what the saying is. They say, "Where we're from?" We told we're from Chicago. They say, "Hey, man, let them brothers continue to do what they're doing."
Mm,
So the wife's saying this, and then the real holy matrimony of it all come in. Hey, because what I'm going through don't mean that I don't love you. I love you more because I understand it now.
mm,
We
mm.
renewed our vow right there, man.
Beautiful.
In the Holy Land, man. And that brother was my best man. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And the piece that I sent you, where you see where when Minister Farrakhan had me and Prince Asiel,
yes, sir.
Hebrew brothers, and we always coming together. And I let him know, hey, Fontaine on his way. And he said, man, where's Minister Fontaine? You see where he come on the stage and everybody get up and clap to see that, hey,
Yes, sir.
there's
Yes,
two
sir.
brothers that once were enemies. You follow what I'm saying? You know?
Mm.
So the third time, it was October of last year. And what happened, our anniversary was in October, okay?
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm political consultant now. So, I help individuals get elected. And one of the things while we're on that, by us having United in Peace and by us having 21st Century Vote, we became very instrumental in helping to elect the first African American woman to the United States Senate, which was
Mm.
Pearl Mosley Brown. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm.
Okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And so a friend of mine, Ori Paczynski, a appellate court judge, Ori Paczynski, was running for re-election or to be retained.
Mm.
And I had this little thing that any candidate that I'm with, I'll take a picture of them and I put it on a sweatshirt or a t-shirt on the front and back. I'll become a walking billboard. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Letting them
Yes, sir.
know that I walk it like I talk it. You know what I mean? I tell people don't choke, vote. And
Yes, sir.
I said, I need a picture with you in your robe. And she say, I got to be doing something. I got to be officiating something because you can't come in the chamber and take a picture with me in the robe on. I said, okay. So I went home and talked to my wife. I said, babe, what do you think about getting married again? She looked at me like, oh, wait a minute. Now, what's up? Your health okay, baby? What's wrong? You know what I mean? Hey, hey, uh, and I explained it to her. She busted out laughing. So he said, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? So uh, the appellate court judge, she officiated the wedding. We went to my partner's restaurant. Didn't call too many people up. When the people realized what had happened, they was mad because we didn't invite them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So not only was this a labor of love, but this was also a labor of my profession. This is what I do. You know what I mean? I help. You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I mean? So she wear the robe. We invited my sons and my one daughter. You know what I mean? And we renewed our vows up under the song "What Love Has Joined Together" by Smokey Robinson. You know what I mean?
Beautiful
And
song.
took the picture, and everything is. And she looking at me, and I guess she said, I let her know, boo, I'm in the fourth quarter of my life now. You know what I mean? So if I
Yes, sir.
call back and say, hey, babe, hopefully if God let me be 100, hey, boo, let's do this one more time, and if she can, we will. you know.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. Okay. So okay. I have one more question for you, sir, but I just want to do a quick 60-second commercial break for all of
You
the
got it.
sponsors of the People's Podcast. This special month, we're closing out the new year, and we have an amazing list of sponsors from all over the country who continue to support the People's Podcast. I'm eternally grateful for all of you all. If you would like to be a sponsor or donor, please cash at the People's Podcast. My brother Rashad, Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, both of which are available on Amazon. My sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country and right here in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia. We love our tiny dancers. Raw Communications. If you're working on a book and you need copy editing, project management, content development, or media relations, please reach out to Raw Communications. Student Minister Robert L. Muhammad out of Austin, Texas, conflict mediation, squashing the beef throughout the Southwest region. Thank you very much. His wife, Fudia Muhammad, Children of the Most High, Giving Birth to a God, and the Science of Child Rearing. Please make sure you get that book. Asiatic Minds Online, Sister Sherry Muhammad teaching virtual school STEM to young kings and queens all across the country for AsiaticMinds.com. Fashion Gods, Urban Streetwear. Make sure you support him if you want to make sure you come up with the amazing fashion. 314-329-8009. We're coming right back to our brother Gator at this moment. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaires. He'll ship bow ties to you anywhere in the country. Please reach out to him if you need any bow ties. Also, Power Campus Online Learning. Do you want to improve your homeschooling experience? We're here to help. 770-847-0786. Thank you very much. Also, Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 Disinfecting Cleaning Services out of Chicago. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, my two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Thank you all very much. Right back to our brother Gator. Okay, boom.
And see, man, that's what I'm saying. That you just displayed.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And then text me the information, everything else.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to pump it out there, because the wonderful thing about the Nation of Islam is that they teach what Brother Kanye has realized. Do for self, get land.
Yes, sir.
And Kanye can say get land because you know what Elijah Muhammad and the nation did with land. You follow what I'm saying? So it's
Yes,
not
sir.
a myth. It's
That's
not a
right.
myth.
That's right.
You know
Beautiful.
what I mean?
Yes,
The
sir.
brothers over in Israel, they can show you how you can take a barren land and irrigate it
Yes, sir.
to grow.
Beautiful.
The nation always taught that we can teach ours. We always knew it within our culture because it was called motherwit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And just like everybody know that we great mathematicians, that's why they want to cancel our culture.
That's right.
All of a sudden, they don't want the children, black or white, to understand about slavery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm not knocking our Jewish brothers, the good Jewish brothers and sisters. But we understand, y'all, when you say never again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we as a people got to say that we won't forget.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? We got to teach them. Our children don't need no permission to teach our children, man.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay. And I'm saying this as a father, as a grandfather, and a great grandfather, and as a husband. I got my GED in the penitentiary because it was mandatory. Larry laid it down. It was mandatory. So my son and daughter that followed me, they got their degrees. Two of them got masters. And they able to teach each one and teach what Larry Hoover saw. Got their degrees, man.
Yes, sir.
That's why I
Yes,
tell
sir.
everybody, please get that song. Listen to it. Jesus Lord. It's on there twice. It's so ice cold. It's on that twice.
That's right.
On Donda's new album. That's Kanye West new album. You know, so man, that isn't what you're teaching. And it was brother yourself, ICL.
That's right.
They gave me the link that I was able to add on to the C-SPAN piece to show the transformation when he sent it to me. And he sent it at the right time when we talking all this. So to see him and Larry Jr. talking and having their man conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, it was my daddy and the nation and the Hebrew community. and others that was speaking and fighting for your dad to be free. And we got to carry that on for us as a people.
That's right.
To understand we got a right to say, hey, I got to listen to someone that can convince me not to pick up a weapon, to want to kill you or you kill me,
Yes,
because
sir.
we had a falling out.
Beautiful.
So right. So it ain't like it can't be done. It ain't like it hadn't been done. Our whole move is to continue what is, be purposely focused. Okay. Yeah, got to respect all women,
That's right.
respect all children. You got to be, you see innocent people, you see your family, tone it down. That give us enough time for someone to come find out who was wrong in the beef and to make that wrong person get right.
Excellent.
That's how we did it with United Peace. And everything that I'm sharing with you, it's verifiably documented, man.
Wonderful.
It ain't a myth.
Yes, sir. And so many people showing you love in the comments, and thank you all. Well, Brother Gator, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today to come by the People's Podcast to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration. This means a lot to myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast. I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Shout out to Brother Yosef for connecting us. That event that we went to about Larry Hoover was phenomenal and a life-changing event. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Thank you very much, Brother Gator.
Hey, to God be the glory. That's
Yes,
my
sir.
story. Peace.
Peace, sir. And thank you, Sister Rob. Thank you, everybody who continues to watch.